Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Beef Medium Podcast. I'm your host, Zach, aka Snack with Zach, and I'm joined by the man who just got COVID for the fifth time, my brother and co-host, Matt.
I feel awful, but I'm here.
You did show up to work today. We really appreciate it. As did Emily, Grocery Obsessed, Emily Hill. I mean, we were really excited for this episode in the first place, but what a time it was.
I learned about HEB. I learned about Buc-ee's. I learned so much stuff about Texas. Turns out grocery store culture in Texas, amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really big. So Emily's whole thing, she started in 2020 when she moved to Austin. She's from Texas originally, but she went to HEB for the first time and was very curious about what was new at HEB. So her social media pages are primarily around Texas groceries, but has expanded to a little bit more of a national thing, which is great. But we really do get into the bulk of what makes Texas, which is fantastic. And she's working on a new secret snack project, which she talks about too a little bit at the end. So it's a really cool thing. If you've ever been interested in Texas culture, or you are a part of Texas culture already, this is going to be a great episode for you. So without further ado, please welcome Grocery Obsessed. We are super stoked. I'm particularly excited because we talked in Indianapolis about everything that has to do with Texas and just your entire brand. And you know how much that I love HEB. Not as much as you I think outpace anybody. But the cool thing about this is obviously we're going to talk about the origin stories of the page, but I used to spend a lot of time in Texas. Matt's only been to Texas once. So as far as that goes, he's like the fresh soul that we get to explain all of this magical world to, and it's cool. Gonna be a good time.
Zach, I feel like your heart's like in Texas for some reason. Like you love Texas.
You could say that. I love Texas so much. I was in a relationship a couple of years ago, and I spent a lot of time down there. So I think a part of me is still 100% in Texas, back in Houston and Austin. I go to Austin every year for ACL. So
do you?
Many of my days. Oh yeah, 100%. I love it.
This year I turned down going.
Did they invite you?
I usually go. No, so El Patio, and it is pronounced El Patio, not El Patillo, because it's a local Mexican restaurant, but they have chips that are in HEB and salsa, and they invite me, and I get VIP tickets usually, but I'm having hip problems. I'm like 35 now. So like my body's just falling apart. I told them I'm going to pass this year because I don't know if I can walk all the way down there and stand up all day and deal with that. So
well, it's impossible to get to Zilker anyway, unless you're walking with the traffic. So 100%. Yeah. See, this is why I need to get more ingrained back into the culture again, because VIP tickets for ACL are incredible at any point anyway.
Yes.
How many years did you go to the festival?
I've been the last 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
so not for like ever. I've only been back in Austin since 2018.
Yeah, you said back in Austin. Did you refresh your memory? You were in San Antonio or Fort Worth. You were at Fort Worth for a while, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Weatherford. It's outside Fort Worth. We did not have HEB growing up. We had a Central Market, which is HEB owned, but no HEB. So when I moved to Austin, that was like my first big time to really explore HEB, and I ran around being like, "How cool is this?" And then a couple of years later, I started the page.
Walk us through the timeline, right? It's 2020. You were working in marketing, is that right? And obviously nobody had any work during the pandemic, so you had to figure out a way to make some money.
Yeah, I had a job. Actually, my job was in a web hosting company, so we were flourishing during COVID, as a lot of these tech companies were. Actually, a lot of small businesses had to get online because of COVID, so web hosting was just like booming. So I had a pretty good, stable job. I had done social media marketing my whole career, and at this point I had grown into other levels of marketing and wasn't hands-on anymore, and I missed it. So I also felt like I was getting a little out of touch. Like, you have to be doing it every day. Honestly, you have to be hands-on with social media, in my opinion. And in addition to that, I wanted to know what was new in HEB, kind of like those Trader Joe's accounts, and I couldn't find anyone really doing it. So I started the page kind of as a side hustle. Let me keep up with work. If we want to know if something is going to work for my business page, I can test it on this other page and all of that. And then just took off as I went. So
yeah, it's a really cool way to get involved in the store, especially if you didn't have HEB growing up. Had you heard the stories of the store, at least from other Texans over time, and then finally you got there in Austin, you're like, oh, let me see what this is all about?
Yeah, I'd definitely heard of it. And I'd been, I think, when we the big thing in Texas is you go float the river. I don't know if you've ever done that, Zach, but like,
I have not.
It's in New Braunfels. Well, unfortunately, a lot of people float the river that just betrayed us. That was the big flood that just happened. But there's like 3 rivers that really converge in this one area between Austin and San Antonio and New Braunfels. It's like a German town. You know, we have a lot of German influence in Texas, which a lot of people who aren't from here may not know. There's even Schlitterbahn. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's a German-themed water park.
Okay.
Like, no lie.
Are we talking like, I'm thinking the architecture and everything, right? I think may have seen photos of the town. If the town is it's stylistically, architecturally very like German European.
Fredericksburg nearby, is a little.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Fredericksburg. And Fredericksburg's like our Napa Valley. There's like wineries everywhere, and
got it.
It's turned into a whole thing.
Matt's doing his Googling, by the way. This is the
You're like, Germans?
Yeah.
There's German and Czech. There's a lot of Czech influence in South Texas as well. So kolaches,
I love kolaches.
Are a huge thing. They come from the Czech background. And then kabaznik, which someone's going to be like, you're not saying that right. But it's basically Texans modified a kolache and took the dough and put it around a sausage. And so it's a huge pig in the blanket. People also call them kolaches, but that's not technically the right term for them.
Because that's what Shipley has. Shipley has it's this kolache, but it's the sausage and the kolaches. And for context for Matt and other people, Shipley's Donuts, aka Shipley Donuts, as I say with the hyphen across it. But I love that place so much. Kolaches alone are such a big Texas thing that I'm surprised hasn't made it more natural at this point, because we would go to Kolache Factory like all the time when they do like the kolache of the month and everything like that, because you can have like it's a better way to have a breakfast sandwich. Yeah,
kolaches are huge. I would say kolaches and breakfast tacos, like, you can't go wrong. I think Texas does like breakfast right. Like, it's awesome.
You 100% do.
Yeah.
Ooh. Looking at these, I love pigs in a blanket.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow.
Kolaches are basically like, these? I think for people who aren't familiar with them, they're kind of like the Chinese pork buns in a lot of ways that are like filled with the dough around them.
Yeah, I can see that comparison
in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they remind me of. Kind of like I don't know, that's the closest I can get to it. But there's so much you can do with them that's amazing. Texas does do breakfast right. The first time I was in Austin was 2012, and my cousins have lived there. Our cousins have lived there for multiple decades, I think, at this point. And we had breakfast tacos like day 2. It was like, oh, we gotta go to this place. I don't remember where we went, but we went there and it was delicious, and they're just so good. There are so many things that I eat one almost
every morning. Do you make them yourself? I make them at home. I get ready to cook tortillas, where you just like heat them up on the pan, and they taste fresh, and then do eggs and bacon or sausage.
Another cool thing about this too is you are the first mom that we've had on the podcast, which is an exciting thing, because I think especially when it comes to what you do for groceries, there's a little bit more of I feel like it's almost like a more personal element in a way, because you're not just shopping for you're shopping for the kids, you're shopping for the family, and so there's like an extra little bit of care and fun I feel like you take to the table that like I couldn't do, because it's just me and the cats. You know, like you're like, how do I make this an enjoyable experience for everybody in the house?
Yeah, it definitely has given me new perspective, because when I started the channel, I didn't have kids.
Because they're 4 now, right?
Yeah, they just turned 4. They're boys. They're crazy. It's hard to take them to the grocery store, in fact, and people recognize me a lot, and they're just like so much chaos that sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I should bring y'all anymore, because people recognize me and I'm like, stop doing this, and
well, it's a different thing. There is really some truth, especially because I'm sure, is most of your audience in Texas at this point, or because you're now grocery obsessed and rather than HEB Obsessed, has it expanded to other states more so? What's your typical audience?
So Facebook, I have a pretty big audience on Facebook too, and that one is more varied. Actually, sometimes confuse people when I do Texas focused content, which I do frequently, but then there'll be people like found me from something that's like a nationwide product, and they're like, why are you posting this? But Instagram, I would say, is still really heavily Texas. And then my I just did not try with TikTok for so long, and I have a much smaller audience there. I've been putting more effort in lately, so I don't even know who's on there.
TikTok is really difficult anyway, I think about this a lot when I'm doing stuff, even having cracked that nut. Something specifically, like if you were to focus on something, even like I see Boston specific content creators, and it's really got to be the right level of finessing to like reach those people, because TikTok is such like a mass audience platform, you know? Masses and scale, not Massachusetts.
Zach, I feel like your content is so personable and you are always talking at the camera and so animated, and it's perfect for TikTok. And I like hate talking at the camera. So that's a big difference, you know?
But that also speaks to a lot of folks who want to do. I mean, I know you're on the camera and in the photos sometimes, but you do a lot of like faceless content. So it's like you're just showing the products. And for a lot of people, I don't think they realize that that's an avenue that you can take when it comes to making content. I think everybody thinks that you have to be on camera, but I mean, you do so much, right? Because if you remember saying correctly, you literally drop the kids off at daycare and then you go and you're like at 3 stores in the day. Like that's your day. This is your day job. Yeah. It's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. I feel really, honestly, like really lucky. I'm sure maybe you feel like this too. It's like this, and like a little bit of my story with my kids, they were micro preemies and they had like health issues, and then they came home on oxygen. And this took off for me like at the perfect time where I had decided to stay home with them because like all the options, nannies, whatever, were just not working out. One of them ended up back in the hospital on his first birthday. And I was like, I'm done working, trying to be a boss in corporate, and then also dealing with this, and then also having this side channel. And like 6 months later, this became a full-time job for me. So it's really saved me in a way, I would say, being able to do this. And so I it's fun for sure, but it's also just been like this huge blessing in my life.
That is incredible in a lot of ways. It does open up a whole different sort of way to go about things than, you know, like a traditional 9 to 5, or like, you know, I think about people who are working like wage jobs. Like I was years ago, during the pandemic, I started working in retail, and obviously you have a way bigger reason to do this now because you've got the kids, and with all that happening early on, it's just so much to balance everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really does speak to how much something like content creation can change your life in a really positive way. I think people think about it from the money standpoint, but the quality of life of like being able to do your own thing, and like now you have time for the family, and now that the kids are a little bit more grown, you get to go and do something that you're passionate about every single day, on top of the benefits that came early on too.
And content creation is so like polarizing, you know, people love to hate on influencers, and then there is some good you can do with it too, I would say. Like for me, I've kind of found this niche with like a lot of these startups that I really love to support as much as I can and work with locally. So, you know, so a year and a half ago, I changed from being HEB focused to all Texas grocery finds. And that was a really positive thing that came out of it for me.
What prompted the change of going from just HEB to larger? Does that include Texas? Like, does that include like Kroger's of the world too? So a little bit more national scale?
I think that a big part of it was I was just feeling a little too hooked into my niche. If I did anything else, like if I went to the expos or whatever, people are like, why are you here? This is an HEB, you know? And yeah, I don't know. I think that my audience really did freak out at me at first, especially on Facebook. They were not cool with it. HEB has a big cult following, and for a good reason. They do a lot of good in our state. I got a lot of blowback. I think at this point, people who stuck with me would realize that I still am like going into Costco and finding Texas brands to talk about in addition to national brands, but I'm more able to like do more with these startups in different places. And then I'm also able to like, you don't only shop at HEB. You want to hit Aldi occasionally or Walmart. Like, don't you want to know it's there? HEB for a long time hasn't gotten a lot of the national releases like Walmart or Kroger does. This is the first year I've seen them get like a lot of the big Halloween releases. But in years past, they're like a month or so behind on getting even the like Halloween cereal or, you know, things like that. They're really focused a lot on their owned and operated products, and they do make a lot of their owned and operated products, and they sell like really well.
This is a great jumping point. Well, HEB is one of the best grocery stores in America by far. For people who don't know HEB, like
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about.
I know a little bit, but before we started recording, just so I didn't sound stupid, and I'm going to out myself here, I asked Zach, I'm like, is it HEB or is it HEB? Because I don't
It's a normal question.
Yes. No, it's very common, like, question. Okay. Little backstory.
Walk us through HEB.
Okay, so HEB has been around for quite a while. It was started by a woman. We love that, named Florence Butt. And then her son took it over and I think made it much bigger. And his name was Howard E. Butt. So it's HEB as Howard E. Butt. They've kind of segued that into this tagline that here everything's better, which I see some people on social say that's what it means, but no, it was originally Howard E. Butt.
Yeah, real ones know that it is not.
Yeah.
It is the Butt family.
It did start in Kerrville, which is where all of our flooding just happened, unfortunately. And there's like a little flagship store there that has like some of the an homage to the original facade of the store from back in the day, and a like antique car kind of thing in front of it. So that's kind of cute. The reason that Texans love HEB, I would say, Matt, is a couple things. So they are really in tune with the audience here, and they'll make like a ton of Texas shaped products, for example, or cowboy ghost at Halloween, or, you know, things that just appeal, bluebonnet decor and things that just really appeal to Texans. But they sponsor like every single activity that ever happens in our state. I swear to, like, if you go to any festival or like the zoo, it's like sponsored by HEB. They're just everywhere. They'll do things like, when we have a big power outage or something, they will just give away groceries to everyone who was in the store, just walk out with them, you know, stuff like that. So they're just do a lot of good in the state. I really think that's a huge part of why Texans are really locked in on it. And it's also only in Texas. And there actually was one in Louisiana at one point near Lake Charles, but it is no more. I think that was their like test to go out of state. They just recently got into DFW in the last 2 years. Yeah,
they just did that. That's wild to me, considering it's the biggest metro area in Texas,
DFW, Dallas, Fort Worth.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So for a long time, they were only like San Antonio, Austin, Houston. And then they actually, I said they're only in Texas. They're in Mexico too. There's like several stores in Mexico. There's an HEB
other states,
Mexico.
But it's in Mexico too. Why not?
Yeah. Sorry. That's a big one. I left off. There's actually a huge, we have a huge Hispanic influence in Texas, and Texas Hispanic culture is like really big. I mean, I think it's a part of all of our identity. So they have, you know, these brands, Mi Tienda. They have actually a full Mi Tienda grocery store in Houston, which is like a Mexican grocery store. And so I think it kind of makes sense maybe that they segued into Mexico, and they use that team to help inform a lot of their decisions that they make around all of their Mexican food products and their Mexican grocery store as well.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah, and there's a big, it's such a big cultural thing. And then you get to the food, and like Emily, you're saying, the white label stuff and all the stuff that they do. The HEB I used to go to in Houston had like full, like everything pre-made meals. You've got like the cookies and the bakeries. The sampling is really, really well done. It's just like no other grocery store. Do other grocery stores have it? Yes, but HEB has a particular level of detail, and they have like the home decor, like you're saying. Like I remember last year, the Halloween pumpkin that had the little Texases cut out into it. Like they do all these things that are so leaned into the culture, but because they're from there, it is the most authentic experience.
And the white label is their store brand, I'm assuming, is their proprietary.
Yeah, they have several store labels. It gets a little confusing. Like more, I would say, than other stores have. There's like Mi Tienda. There's like 7 or 8 store brands.
I'm looking right on their website. I see Mi Tienda,
Destination Holiday.
Midtown.
Yeah. Midtown is like a newer one that's Italian products. Ooh. And Destination Holiday is their like holiday decor. And a lot of their decor you can't find anywhere else. Like it's only at HEB.
And the decor is top tier. It used to be so exciting going through and seeing like I said, like that pumpkin, like seeing all the stuff. Another one recently that I've heard about is they do candles. Candles are a big one with the Texas scented candles.
Yeah.
Did you I'm assuming you found those, right? With like the barbecue brisket candle and everything.
Yeah, the brisket candles. I was like not on board for the brisket candles, but they had So a lot of their stores have a barbecue restaurant in it too. This is the other cool thing, Matt. Didn't tell you this. The other cool thing, which I think other grocery stores should really take note of, is certain stores have unique features. So people will literally like drive around to go to these like cool different grocery stores. So, and they try to incorporate some of the culture of the town into it as well. So the store they opened in Wimberley also is along a river that had a flooding issue. And it was the year after this really bad flood. And so they built the store and had like a lot of local artisans come. They made these like glass bulbs over the registers, these like really interesting glass kind of art. And then they had like this log that was engraved and turned into a bench out front that was from the storm, had been knocked over in the storm. They took floorboards from the gym that was like on the site where they built the HEB, this old gym, and put them along the wall. And there's like the old scoreboard in there. And then in Austin, you can go to one in Mueller. It's the one that has the most restaurants of any store. And it is built to look like an airplane hangar because it was like where there used to be a municipal airport. And then you go in on the right and there's a food hall and there's like five restaurants total and a bar. There's like basically it's like a food hall, but other stores have this barbecue restaurant. The barbecue restaurant is the most popular of their like restaurant concepts.
It's like one of their things.
Yeah. They have other ones. They have a flaming bird, which is like a rotisserie chicken kind of one. And then they have pizza one, South Flow Pizza, which I think is awesome. That's my favorite. And that one's in quite a few stores as well. But there's definitely the most of the true Texas barbecues.
This is one of the coolest looking grocery stores I have ever seen in my entire life. This is the Austin Mueller one.
Yeah.
It does, in fact, look like an airport.
Yeah.
I have never been this hyped to go to a grocery store before. Isn't it massive?
Wow. That's insane.
And you said the Austin Mueller one has the most restaurants of any of them? So they all have like their own restaurants?
Not all of them, but a lot of the newer ones they're opening have the barbecue place in them at least. San Antonio. So the Mueller one, the rest of the store isn't as impressive, I would say, or as big, but that part is super cool. We have a 2-story, well, it's kind of like 2/3-story one in Lake Austin. It's called the Lake Austin store. Sorry. There's a newer one that's 2-story on South Congress in Austin. And then a lot of the like really huge ones with the most restaurants are in San Antonio because that's now where headquarters is.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, it's cool because you can go to different ones. Like there's a store outside of, there's a town outside of Austin called Hutto, and there are the hippos, and everywhere in town there's like these like hippo statues. And so the HEB there has like a big hippo in front and like some sort of sign. And I don't know, it's cool to go to they all have something unique. They built one on the side of an amphitheater in Austin that closed, and everyone was very sad about it closing. But so when you walk into that one, there's like a whole tribute to it, and there are guitars that are signed on the wall and stuff.
It's attention to detail that you don't see anywhere else. Like I don't know any other place, any other grocery store that does that.
Trader Joe's, but this sounds like an elevated version of what Trader Joe's does, because Trader Joe's just has the mural. They've decided, let's actually incorporate the community. And that's so cool.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Cool. You know, especially one thing to echo too, when Houston has weather events like every year, I feel like at this point. But last year they had some really devastating, again, ice storms, stuff like that. And like hurricanes, the hurricanes came through and like shut everything down for a week. And HEB was there letting people go in, get the AC in the middle of the heat, because the Houston heat Texas heat is a whole nother breed. But, you know, in the Houston heat, they had air conditioning and let people use like the buildings. They do a lot of great stuff. It's just, I don't even know. I'm not even from there, and I'm like homesick for HEB right now. And that doesn't even cover. I know, right? Well, that doesn't even cover Central Market too, which is a whole second thing. Central Market, I think about easily like every single day. So Central Market is owned by HEB. It's like, Emily, how would you describe Central Market?
Okay, wait 1 sec. I wanted to tell you that HEB also, like some of the Houston area stores had hurricane cakes when that came through, like before the hurricane. Like, party while there's a hurricane. I don't know.
They really do it up.
They were, I think, loving it. Okay, so Central Market. Central Market is like, well, okay, if you've been to a Wegmans, they modeled Central Market after Wegmans.
That makes sense as to why I love it, because Wegmans is, I think, when it comes to best grocery stores in America, HEB is definitely up there. Wegmans is probably my number one. I'd say it's like Wegmans, HEB, H Mart, maybe.
Yeah. Wegmans goes hardcore. I love Wegmans.
Yeah. So the cool part of Wegmans, like I feel like Wegmans is like an HEB and a Central Market put together, because there's a normal part of the store, at least the one I went to.
Which Wegmans did you go to?
Outside Philadelphia, but I don't know what town.
Okay, no, I know generally the one that you're talking about, because I have also been to that one.
It was a big one with like the clock tower looking thing and stuff.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law worked there part-time. She like loved it. Central Market is kind of like Wegmans, like the cool part, but it has like an IKEA like path that you follow throughout the store, and you start in like, it's kind of reminds me of more of an open air market, like a European open air produce market, where just the way that the produce is set up, and they have produce from like all over. It's super cool. Like citrus season, you can find like any citrus fruit you've ever dreamed of, and it's awesome. They grow their own mushrooms in this like temperature controlled. Is that why the prices
are so good?
What?
They have this machine that mimics the forest floor atmosphere wise and grow mushrooms on like themselves. Anyway, it's fascinating.
No, the reason why, because I think about that a lot, right? And I go to, last time I was at Central Market, I saw their price for chanterelles. I was like, this is an unreasonable price. I was like, it was so cheap.
Maybe
like,
it is. I'll have to look. I'm actually not an expert on mushroom prices.
Neither am I.
I wish Italy would do this, because Italy charges the most ludicrous price. Well, Italy charges way too much for everything, but the mushrooms especially.
It's like a novelty.
This is so
exactly
cool.
The chanterelles there, I think were like, it was like $18 a pound or something like that.
Oh, I'll have to look.
I went back. I think it was maybe Italy or somewhere, and the chanterelles were like, it was like 50 a pound or something like that. Like there was a massive difference, and I couldn't figure out why they were cheaper, but because they're doing it themselves, that makes sense. It's such an interesting like thing when it comes to regional grocery stores as well, because I mean, beyond HEB, obviously, like if you think about all the ones that are floating around the South, and what there was like Harris Teeter, and there's Fresh Market, and Fresh Market used to only be in like the Southeast, and you've got like the Piggly Wigglies of the world, and the like the Winn-Dixies, and each one has like a different flair and culture. HEB definitely does it the best, but it's like, it's wild. I think, especially doing what we do, I don't think people realize, in your audience, they definitely realize how like obviously regional HEB is, because it's Texas, but I don't think people realize like how specific it gets down to individual states, how it can just be so different.
Well, so let me explain Texas to you, because it's been challenging to cover at times, because it's even really crazy within Texas. So North Texas, you have, up until recently, you didn't have HEB. You had Berkshire's, which is another Texas grocery chain. Berkshire's has, at some point in their family, they broke off, and there's also a Berkshire Brothers, which is a different company, and it's mostly in other parts of Texas.
We did have that here in Massachusetts to another store, but that's irrelevant for now.
So then there's Albertsons. There's some Tom Thumbs in North Texas, which is an Albertsons brand. Those are like the big ones I would say. Oh, Kroger. And then we have Kroger in Houston. Nowhere else has Kroger.
Oh, really?
Here we have Randall's, which is Albertsons owned, but we don't have Albertsons or Tom Thumb.
You're throwing names at me that like Tom Thumb.
Tom Thumb is like another regional Albertsons brand now. Yeah. And then, which they're all, I feel like they're all kind of the same. Like all the Albertsons brands have similar products, but actually my closest grocery store is a Randall's, and it's, yeah. So it gets really challenging to cover Texas. Any point when I try to cover Kroger or whatever, people are like, wait, where's the Kroger? Don't realize that it's like, you know, Aldi. Actually, San Antonio still doesn't have an Aldi, and they're so mad about it. They really want one. And I think maybe it's because of HEB that they're not moving in there, because that's HEB's home base. So even
HEB.
HEB.
That would be fighting words like right there.
Wars, seriously.
Yeah. Texas is really interesting. I've tried my hardest to cover all of it, but Berkshire Brothers, for example. So I did a video recently. Texas A&M wanted to have a grocery store on site. And I said on campus, and half the people who had lived there, like older people who had not lived there recently, were like, that's not on campus. But y'all young people seem to consider it campus. I don't know. That aside.
A&M is a different thing.
Yeah, it's like a whole, yeah. That aside.
It's like a Vatican level country at CSTAT.
Yes, seriously. I was like, I don't know. I didn't go to school here. Berkshire Brothers won a bid to build the grocery store on campus, and it is super cool. It's like might be one of the coolest stores I've been to in Texas, honestly. It's
seriously.
So it has a coffee shop. It has a keg room where you can pre-order your keg for parties. It has an outdoor venue that has like a full-on stage and stuff, and then an area to watch the games. It has like an upper area where you can study and look out over the store. It has like meat from the ag part department, like from students. And then there's like highlighted produce that has been like created by Aggies on the wall and stuff. It was really, really cool. I thought it was like super neat.
I hate to say it, but I would study there 100% if I was on that campus easily. Yeah. Are you kidding me? I don't think, as somebody I've been an avid snacker since before any of this. Anyway, I think my ideal, rather than being in a library all day, I'd sit in a grocery store 100%. Something about that ambiance just seems like the right place to be.
Yeah, it was super cool. I mean, I was like, I wish I went to A&M. I would have. I don't know. I have fun.
I'm like, I'm gonna just run it back at A&M for a couple of years and just see how that goes. I'm sure I could find something to do. I'd probably have a good time. I mean, it's the culture of like Texas A&M is. Again, it's such specific things. This is the beauty of Texas as a state, is it's like, regardless of everybody's like different beliefs, etc., there is the unifying thing about Texas that people are like so diehard for the state. It's really a beautiful thing that I don't think any other state really has. Like Massachusetts, we love being from Massachusetts 100%, but like Texans like bleed Texas through and through.
It's been really cool doing this, I think, because and even talking with more startups and stuff, because Texans love supporting Texans so much that it's and we have such a big economy. Honestly, it's a great place for these CPG brands to spring up, and a lot of them are coming out of Austin. Like a lot of big names are like Waterloo's here, Tito's, right? Deep Eddy vodka, like what else? Siete is out of Austin. There's a lot of these brands coming out of here.
Is it because they have good legs in a lot of senses, because you're able to create a product, the community supports you first, and then I'm assuming distribution is probably pretty streamlined, and from there, I'm sure once you're national across Texas, it's easy to get through other areas. I know Texas isn't really considered the South. Texas is Texas, but right? There's
I think it's kind of confusing. Yeah, I think growing up, I thought we were in the South, but not the deep South. Like, yeah, but I think that's a good insight that we're just Texas.
You guys exist as your own thing. But if you have a product that does well there, I mean, surrounding areas has got to be not easy, but you have a better chance of getting it places than if you were to start in like the middle of nowhere.
Yes, I think it's really smart to start your brand here because you have this community available to you and such a huge economy and resources in Texas. So I think it's a great place. Austin too is a little bit central, right? So it's easy to get to the other parts of Texas, actually, it is still hard to get anywhere in Texas. It's so big, but it's like 3 hours to Houston, 3 hours to DFW, so a couple hours to San Antonio.
Driving across Texas was crazy. Because it just keeps going and going and going and going. And I drove out here over 10 years ago with a roommate. It felt like it was never going to end. And some places, it was one of the few places where I saw signs warning you, get gas here because there's no gas for 100+ miles in this direction. It was crazy.
I've done that drive a couple times to like California. So
no speed limit, just open air.
there are places outside of Austin where it's 85 miles an hour now.
Our low end is 55 for cons. Like people in Massachusetts 100% go 85 anyway. But our speed limit, I don't think there's anywhere in New England except for one part of New Hampshire where the speed limit is maybe 75, but for the most part it's 55 to 65, which means that people are probably going in those zones 100 or so. It's like the open air. It's nice. Everything about the culture. Buc-ee's. We haven't even talked about Buc-ee's yet.
Buc-ee's. I know nothing about Buc-ee's either.
You don't?
You haven't learned about Buc-ee's lore from the internet? Neither have I. That's still in my list.
It's the Chipmunk one, right?
Beaver.
Beaver. I'm sorry.
Chipmunk.
That's highly offensive. I know.
That's going to be our lead-off clip right there because everyone's like,
that should be good. Buc-ee's is fascinating because they sue a lot of people.
They do.
They sue like everyone who has a gas station and an animal mascot. It's like nuts, and it makes me feel like a little weird. But
what?
And they win a lot of them, and that's like some of them. I'm like, how? This doesn't seem like they should have, maybe.
There was a case recently where they did that. I don't remember what it was specifically, but we have in Salem, Massachusetts, there's a company called Blackcraft. Oh, I can't believe I didn't wear this sweatshirt for this. Oh man. But it's Blackcraft has a lot of parodies. They're very like alternative goth sort of like streetwear. And they took literally the Bucky the Beaver. And instead of it saying, Buc-ee's, it said Blackcraft on it, and he had vampire fangs with blood coming out, and I believe they sued Blackcraft.
Yeah, you do not cross Buc-ee's trademark. Buc-ee's. Yeah, stay away. Okay, so Buc-ee's is like Walmart. If Walmart was a gas station, I guess, like size-wise, there's like hundreds of pumps. It's insane. And then inside...
I thought this was like a convenience store.
It is.
It's like a super convenience store.
Yeah, super convenience store. Yeah, so you go in, there is an entire like home and decor section. And it's like actually super duper cool. And I could spend like a ton of money in it. Like it's like the place to go to get Christmas gifts. And then there's like and then on the left, as you walk in, there's an entire area with just Buc-ee's swag. Like this massive area, like Buc-ee's bikinis, Buc-ee's. Last time I was in there, they had like a baseball jersey that was like Buc-ee's, and I mean, kids' outfits, like anything you could ever imagine. And then you keep walking, and there's barbecue station, there's a fudge station, there's in-store made jerky. There's a claw cheese and like a bakery counter. There's a ton of bathrooms. They all have private stalls and are always clean. That's kind of their thing.
I've heard that you can literally eat off of the floors of the Buc-ee's bathrooms. They're like immaculate.
Poopery just did then you keep walking and it's just like snacks and drinks and whatever. Okay. And a lot of it's also white labeled. Like most, like that's their big thing. So one of the most popular snacks is a beaver nugget. Poopery just did a collab with them for beaver nugget spray, toilet spray.
What is up with the Texas-centric items between the candles and HEB?
I think they took a note out of HEB's book, honestly.
Yeah, they're like, HEB's doing brisket-scented candles. We need a beaver nugget spray.
Well, you can get beaver nugget candles now, too.
Because beaver nuggets it's not fried dough.
No, it's like a puff that has like a caramel coating.
Oh yeah, like caramel, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have a lot of different things.
They have a lot of different kinds now.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of what is called a beaver tail, I think in Canada, which is like fried dough. It's like yay big, and then it's like basically like a McDonald's hash brown. If you're to like
sue them
triple the size
for having
I know, right? Just sue Canada. It's so funny too because there's so much whimsy when it comes to Buc-ee's. Then it turns out they're doing that, but also, I mean, can you really blame him? Because that IP is so strong, and I see them in Massachusetts. I see Buc-ee's merch. I can be in Chicago and I'll see Buc-ee's merch, and every single time I'm like, "Yeah, Buc-ee's," and everyone's like, "Yeah." I was in the middle of like upstate New York doing a thing with A&W. I'd driven to Lake George, which is like 5 4 or 5 hours northwest of where I am near Boston, right? So I just went like, shh, and I saw somebody wearing a Buc-ee's sweatshirt, and I was like, where am I?
Yeah, it's like all over Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's made its way. The cultural impact that Buc-ee's has is, I have to think about if I were to have one or the other, right? If one were to come to Massachusetts, In-N-Out or Buc-ee's, I would rather have Buc-ee's, because I think that Buc-ee's has been more culturally impactful than In-N-Out in a lot of ways.
Interesting.
Well, it sounds like you can get more stuff at Buc-ee's.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, by default, I feel like it wins.
I wonder if they'll like just kind of follow the same path, like they just move southeast, then slowly up north, like In-N-Out's going to Nashville.
Yeah, Buc-ee's definitely getting everywhere. It's interesting. I think the Texas mentality is that they get frustrated when brands grow out of Texas, which frankly I don't understand, because I feel like we should want to show that our brands can be successful, right? Like that should be a Texas pride thing. And particularly for small brands, like for example, there's this product out of Longview, Texas, which is a far way away from everything. But they've essentially made snow cones in like a big Otter Pop sleeve with homemade syrups, and it is the coolest. Like it's called Shiver Sticks. I'm like so in love with them. They started growing out of their hometown and trying to expand into other parts of even our own state, and a lot of their fans were just like, no, this is our thing and all this. And I'm like, here's the thing though, this little company isn't going to be around in 5 years if they can't expand. It's challenging to make a lot of profit just being in this town, doing a snow cone stand or what have you. And I think it's really awesome how they pivoted during COVID to make them in the sleeve and to now try to turn it into a CPG brand is like amazing. So I don't get that mentality.
Yeah, these look really fun too. The marketing just looks, they got the little penguin on it. And
I love it so much. The flavors are like, so good.
What's the best
I see
one?
Sweet cream and lavender.
I've gone back and forth. Right now I'm on like the key lime because it's really tart. It's like super good. But they have like strawberry vanilla that's good. They have their tart flavors are like definitely tart, like a strawberry pineapple one.
See, now I want to try. This is no joke. We've done 20-something episodes of this podcast, and this is the first one that's actually made me hungry.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what Matt, are you with me?
This is some good so interesting and fascinating.
I could talk about these small brands forever because I'm like discovering all these new products here that haven't made it out of Texas yet.
This is one of the questions I wanted to ask you too. Speaking of, what are some of the cool things that you're seeing emerging from small brands in the space right now? Things that you're really excited about?
Anything you really want to plug and you're like, try this.
Well, okay, so there's like a couple local brands that I'm loving. One is Rosa Salsa that I just like have talked about so much this last year. So their shtick is that it's the salsa that sticks to the chip. I love this as a parent because my kids love salsa. They're good little Texans.
Right?
Yes. So it legitimately like does not fall off the chip. It is so cool. But also it's because he's kind of cooked it down, but he uses like roasted veggies and it's like the most amazing flavors. Like it's just
I'm gonna order this, I think.
Good. It's just so good. Maybe I should like send y'all a little Texas snack box.
I would say I could send you a Massachusetts one, but I think that you would kick our asses.
So then there's another brand called Tozy Chips, and she makes tortilla chips with blue amaranth, and I just think they're amazing. They have like more clean ingredients and they're just so good. I love them. There's a couple parent brands that I've found lately that I really like. There's one called Jubilees, which I know this isn't as relevant to y'all, but it's a flavored milk that has hidden veggies in it, and it's like less sugar, and one's like chocolate chip cookie. It's like legitimately good as an adult, which most kid products are not.
Strawberry shortcake, banana cream pie, chocolate chip cookie.
Love her.
There's room for everybody at the table to have fun milk.
Yes, it's really that one's in Sprouts. Do you guys have Sprouts?
I do. Matt does.
I love Sprouts. It's a little pricey, but I love it.
Okay, so Matt, you got to go get my friends Lovin' Cookies. They make gourmet cookie dough. It's in Sprouts now, and it's like super good. Like, so you can just make one or two at a time because it's the frozen cookie dough balls. But
what flavors are we talking? They got some like
okay.
Is it like a classic chocolate?
Okay, well, their
chip?
Snickerdoodle's amazing. Their oatmeal raisin's amazing. They have a gluten-free oatmeal that's like so good still. Like, I don't even know how you do that. They have one that's called the Carlisle, but you can only order it online for now, but that might change soon. But it's
hey, I can order things online. That's
true. Well, you can order these online. They have sugar. True. They have this one's like a sugar cookie with sprinkles, but it has marshmallows in it too. And that one's really good. I love all of them.
Oh, are they named after? They all have like little name, like Noelle.
Yeah, they're like her kids.
Ashley.
They're her kids and
that's
stuff.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun.
She has a cute little story too, kind of like mine with my kid. So one of her sons had Kawasaki disease, or I think he's in recovery. He's doing really good right now. But that was how she started the brand was to do with him and everything he was going through. I think that was like a passion of theirs together to bake. And so it was a really cute story. Yeah.
I mean,
they got gluten-free options too. Hell yeah.
Are you
their gluten-free options are really good. Like the oatmeal one
that are gluten-free.
The oatmeal one is awesome. I
wasn't sure if I had just learned something about my brother. I know plenty of people who have celiac disease and all that. I wasn't a dig at gluten-free people. That was like it's my brother suddenly gluten-free and I didn't know about it.
I met a brand the other night that had like the most amazing gluten-free biscuit mix, a very new Texas brand. And I was like, how is this so tasty?
How did you guys do it? I mean, the bar
shocked.
has really gone up in recent years. I had to go gluten-free a couple of years ago. I'm no longer anymore. It's just, we had some theories that we were following. And our mom has been sort of on and off gluten-free as long as we've been alive. And in the past, like 20 years, the quality of gluten-free products has gone up exponentially. And just in the past 5-10 years, it's like there's some insane stuff that's out there.
Yeah, I've been going to some of those. Like, I go to Sweets and Snacks, but I've gone to some of the like healthier conventions, and I feel like when you're trying some of these products, you're just like, it is so good. I would not know the difference. I would just buy this.
Was there anything at Sweets and Snacks that you saw that jumped out at you this year?
You know what? I was thinking about this the other day. You know what hasn't come out yet that I thought was cool was those like popped corn nuts. Has that come out?
I think they hit 7-Eleven specifically. It was I know the ones you're talking about because I talked about them in a roundup. It was like, because there was like a movie theater butter one, and there was another one, and there was another one. And I think it was either C-stores or 7-Eleven only, maybe with nationwide, like non-brand specific retailer to come.
It says not available in my location.
It's 7-Eleven?
Just in California.
I don't know. Well, I haven't seen them.
Website.
I brought them back. I literally brought them back from the show, and I thought they were pretty good. Like I
thought it was cool. Like the texture, there's something about it. Yeah,
I know. It was like they worked. Was that your first Sweets and Snacks?
No, this is my second.
Okay.
So this year I've also been to Fancy Food, the winter one. I just went to Newtopia, which is what Expo East turned into, and then locally I went to a Go Texan Expo, which is like our Texas Department of Agriculture program that kind of supports startups. And then I just applied to NACS because Josh told me he's going, and I was like, maybe I should do that.
NACS has a lot more new products than I think Sweets and Snacks does. And Sweets and Snacks has a lot of them, but NACS is because it's convenience stores specifically.
Yeah.
NACS is where a lot of that stuff
ACS.
I thought it was NACS, but I've never been, so maybe it's NACS on the
NACS
street.
Is the National Association of Convenience Stores.
It's an expo. I was getting all these.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We're like deep in it. We're not thinking about the audience, Zach.
No, I love it.
These are, for context, anybody listening, these are industry-specific expos, events where like new products are revealed. The Fancy Food Show's good. That to me is really, it gets a little bit more startup-y, right?
Yes,
rather than like Sweets and Snacks is Oreo and Cheez-It and everything. NACS tends to be a lot more beverage-focused, so you'll see Coca-Cola will be there, energy drinks will be there, a lot of those guys, but they're all really cool. There was one product from Sweets and Snacks that I think about, again, like almost every single day, and it was like I had made my quest at the end of this event, because you go there and it's literally just booths of all these brands, and you can go up and everybody's got samples. So the final day, people bring like carts, they bring like extra tote bags, whatever, and you load up on samples. It's adult Halloween, basically. Yeah, and I made it a goal to get every single meat snack that was available on the floor. Well, especially because those things are expensive. You go and beef jerky's like $15 a bag now.
And it's kind of a healthy snack that keeps you going. It's something I would gravitate towards more.
Chomps, all those. I'm trying to remember. I'm Googling what the brand is quickly.
Did you try the bacon one? That's the one I think about the most.
Who was that?
It's Wicked Cuts.
This is okay. Yes. Was that the breakfast one?
Yes, but they had bacon. They had like a bacon product that was like insane. Ooh, you didn't get the bacon?
I didn't get the bacon. The one I literally just Googled this because I think about the sausage, egg, and cheese and ham, egg, and cheese breakfast meat sticks from Wicked Cuts. That was the best thing that I had at all of Sweets and Snacks. And they were nominated.
Bacon jerky makes so much sense.
Come on.
Zach, I can't believe you missed the bacon jerky.
I can't believe I missed the bacon. I'm going to have to order it from them because I was going to get an order of the breakfast sticks anyway because they're like...
Yeah, the breakfast sticks are really good too. I ate it for breakfast one day while I was there.
They're nice. They were nominated for the best, like most innovative product. They didn't win, which is a shame because I think in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to meat snacks, everybody does the same. Like we've got a buffalo one, we've got a teriyaki one, and a sweet and spicy. But nobody's like, how do we make it more? I don't know, all time a day. Like ham, egg, and cheese. I'm so there.
I tried one at Newtopia I really liked that was pineapple meat stick, and it's from something Pastures.
I still have bags from Sweets and Snacks.
Singing Pastures.
Pastures.
I liked that one.
Pineapple.
But yeah, it was like a more unique option. Yeah.
Which I think is cool, especially because everybody's doing the same product, right? At least when it comes to jerky, the Roadhouse ones were delicious. Those I really liked, and those were like really big.
I will say, I all the weird meat stick or jerky flavors I cannot do. Every time I try one of them, I hate it. But a lot of you guys, like the snack guys, seem to like them a lot. But the weird flavors, I just can't.
I look for the protein fix type thing too. Like Funyuns has a flavor with Jack Links dropping now, so I'm like, I gotta try that.
See, that's the kind of thing I'm like every time. This is the worst thing I've eaten.
Wait. Like Jack Links flavored Funyuns or Funyun flavored Jack Links?
Funyuns flavored Jack Links, chicken bites and chicken sticks.
Interesting.
Honestly, it's very snack heavy. This year's been nuts for snack releases. The amount of stuff that's come out in the past 8 months. Last year, I was doing one release roundup or so a week, give or take. And I've said this before, I don't know if it's because I'm more plugged in, but this year it could be there were periods where I was doing 2 or 3 a week because and then I see what you find too, and I was like, oh yeah, I find it whatever. I'm like, oh, Emily finds it, I'm like, holy shit, everybody else has found it. There is somebody will find something and you're like, there's another thing that I have to add to my list. It's nuts.
It's booming for sure. One thing I've seen twice, it's both years at the Sweets and Snacks Expo that I loved were these mango lime tortilla chips from this brand called El Nacho. And they just got into the innovation set at Sprouts. Do you guys know what the innovation set is?
No.
Okay, so Sprouts does this thing where they'll onboard startup brands in a trial period for 3 months. They can prove themselves. And they're often on this this special shelf that's kind of in the middle of the store.
Yes, I know exactly the shelf you're talking about.
So if you shop the shelf, you're really helping these brands. Or if there's a brand you really like and it's in that set, tell people to go buy it because it helps them. If they make it through that 3 months and they're one of the top sellers, they can get on the shelf. It is really challenging, I've heard, actually. And there are some brands that can skip that whole phase altogether, which I think...
But to have that in, too, is huge.
Yeah, It's different because, so the way that these startups work is they have to get in with the buyer somehow. They go to these expos to get in with the buyer, or they try to set meetings. With Whole Foods has, I think each category has, a certain time of year where it's, open to talk to brands in that category. It's very complicated. It's very challenging to get in front of the buyers and shine and get your product on the shelves. It's honestly being a CPG startup owner is just you have to really put yourself out there and keep going. And so that's why I have such a heart for them right now. But doing this, it does give them a way to maybe kind of get in and then get on shelves. HEB has kind of a Shark Tank thing each year that's called Quest for Texas Best, where Texas brands can apply and go through rounds. And basically the 10 finalists present in front of like a little larger group. I did go one year as a creator. It's not like blasted on TV or anything like that. No one else watches it. It's mostly like HEB employees and like supporting families and a few creators. But the final 10 pretty much all get on HEB shelves. So that's a way that like Texans can get an HEB. Otherwise, they usually start in boutique grocery stores. Then maybe they get into Central Market because it has more specialty and startup products, and then they might get an HEB if it performs well there.
Oh yeah, when I go to the Quest for Texas Best page, literally at the top of it, they have Love and Cookies.
Yeah, Love and Cookies was a winner. So this is the cool thing too. It's really hard to be a new category in a store like HEB. There weren't like frozen cookie dough. There wasn't a category that existed there yet. So it would have been really challenging for them to get on the shelves if they hadn't won Quest for Texas Best. But because they were a winner, they made the space for them and got that new category in.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
This is fast. I didn't, going back to the new product shelf at Sprouts, it never fully registered with me what that was. And I love seeing these more local, smaller brands. Obviously, HEB is a big brand in Texas, but they're still very local. Yeah. I love seeing them prop up smaller brands because when I walk into a Kroger, I don't see a lot of this. I don't see anything out there to prop up the community and to support local artisans and foodies and people like that. So this is so cool. This is fascinating.
Oh, and this is the whole side of our world too, is there is so much focus on the major brands. And I struggle with this too in my page, is I'm like, I want to do more things to highlight smaller companies, because getting that leg up, it's really, really difficult to get your foot in the door. And so it takes moves like this from an HEB or from a Sprouts to give people that opportunity in a world where, you know, somebody billion-dollar company has an innovation lab and they can just throw something on shelves and it works. So the bar is really, really high. The barrier to entry is really high, is the proper term.
Yeah, I think that startup owners who make it are just hustling. Like I see them everywhere at all the events, you know, they're paying for these booths, but they're not cheap, even at the like smaller conventions, to get in front of buyers and making connections everywhere they can. And then their product's more expensive, which is another hurdle. And especially because everything's expensive right now, but because they can't afford to bring their pricing down. You know, tariffs are affecting a lot of CPG brands, no matter where you stand on that subject. Is just a fact. Like, even if most of it's made here and the product's mostly made in Texas, even like the cans or like the labels or some little element is really hard to find in the US. And so I do think that's a hurdle with some of my followers. They think that everything's really expensive. And it's I always kind of come at it like, if you can't afford these items and that's not where you're at in life, like that is okay. Like no one's saying you have to. But if you can afford to, you know, think of it like the farmer's market. Just because they're in a store doesn't mean that they can afford to bring their prices down. And they still might have a really small distribution. Even if they're in HEB, they may only be in 10 stores, you know?
Yeah, it's not
a guaranteed success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I think they see like, oh, once it's on shelves, you must have made it. But there's so much of a bigger world to this. There are something like 100,000 grocery stores, I believe, in the United States. And so being in 10 of them is literally, it's dropping the bucket. And that alone is big. For some reason, if there are people who are doing that are listening to this and have done that, 10 is massive. Even if
huge accomplishment.
Things, it's not a lot. It is a huge accomplishment, 100%. Yeah, to get something nationwide is really nuts. And without saying it, I don't know if you've ever had any ideas, but have you thought about it? I mean, I don't know, as a parent, as a consumer, have you thought about doing your own thing? Because you have the expertise.
Well, yeah. So this last 2 years, I've thought a lot about what I want to do next, because it's not be a creator forever for me.
I am with you 100%.
Yeah. So I did consider going the CPG route. I think I see everyone else struggle. And I'm like, oh, like it feels so hard. I would, if I did though do it, I would be like an ice cream brand or something. 100%. That's like where my passion is. Everything's brown butter based ice cream or like brown sugar based. I'm just kidding. That's like my favorite flavor though. But yeah, I don't know. I have considered it, but it doesn't seem like it's as good of a fit for me.
As a great transition, do you want to float the project? If you're not ready to float the project, you don't have to.
Yeah. So we are launching a new website called Snackers. It is essentially Rotten Tomatoes for snack food, where you can rate and review snacks. But some other features I really love are that you can sort by dietary and lifestyle tags like gluten-free, dairy-free, etc. You can also really amp up your profile to make it personal. You can set your dietary and lifestyle tags. You can set your favorite snack. You can eventually you'll be able to make these like kind of playlist where you can, like sort, which is what Zach's going to love about it, because he can say these are my favorite snacks of the year or the month or my least favorite, what have you. We modeled it a little bit after Letterboxd. I used to work in, like entertainment tech. So got, a lot of the inspiration from that. But then all of your
reviews, so cool.
Yeah. All of your reviews are on your profile as well. And you can set your sweet tolerance, your spice tolerance, your sour tolerance. And the reason why this is important is because eventually, we don't have this feature ready yet for launch, but you'll be able to follow other people who have similar taste preferences to you. So you're seeing their reviews and recommendations on what tastes good. So everyone can follow Zach and he can have 100,000 followers. And everyone can see all of his reviews in one place. There will also be snackfluencers like critics on Rotten Tomatoes, like Zach. Kind of an interesting part, though, is that there are 8 snacks being reviewed each week. We have a top 8. You can vote on what those top 8 are going to be, and then it's going to be set on Monday, and then reviews come in, and then the scores drop on Friday. So we're a little bit eventizing it, and I think it's going to make it really fun and interesting.
There really is not a lot in the industry that is gamifying the snack industry and making it a more social experience outside of what we do for content, which is why it's really, really cool. Yeah, you taking all of your experience from your original career to what you've done on socials is like that's I feel like the pipeline. I see that, and as somebody who's been doing content creation for a long time, like I don't want to be doing content creation forever. The next step thing, we haven't had anybody on here that's really focused on like what you want to do next after content. But there is like a whole another world. It's like you were talking about, with the kids and when they were babies, like it gave you the opportunity to spend time with them. And now the doors that it's opened, like it's so cool. Like you got to feel proud, right?
Thank you. I'm pretty excited. I've self-funded this to this point, so I'm banking on it performing well. But yeah, I like a hurdle I'm trying to cross right now is how do we get these startup brands in there? And I think I found a solution that we might be able to launch next year. But because I believe the top 8 really needs to be nationally available products, that's been kind of a little bit of like, how do we get them in there? And I think I've found a way. I actually would love to run it by you later. But
100%.
Yeah. I think it's going to be really fun. It's kind of built to support creators and built to support these like limited edition drops and that sort of thing, and help people connect over taste, like what actually tastes good, I would say, in addition to like it's a little bit different maybe than some other things on the market, which are more focused on the ingredients or what have you, and telling you what to buy based on that. This is more like real reviews, and connecting with other snack lovers.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And on the grand scheme of things, for people who want to follow everything that you're doing now and soon, where can folks find you on social media?
Yeah, I'm at grocery_obsessed. That's my page. And then Snackers is Snackers app right now. I changed that. We don't have an app yet. Snackers was taken.
But eventually you will.
So we'll see.
Sweet. Well, Emily, thank you so much. It was great to see you. I am so excited for you. This is truly a blast. You're making me miss Texas to an extreme level right now.
Well, if you come, let me know and we'll go hit all the food spots.